Hi guys, it is gabrielleishell, and today I just wanted to share a quick video on the difference between hair shedding and hair breakage and what is normal. Knowing what is normal is very important to a healthy hair regimen. So first off, what is hair shedding? Hair shedding is when a strand reaches its final stage in the growth cycle and it naturally falls out of your hair with a white bulb at the end. And I don't know if you can see this. I'll probably put a picture up, but this strand of hair has a white bulb at the end. Did you know that we shed 100 to 200 strands of hair every single day? Well, we do. If you're wondering why the bulb at the end of the strand is white, it's because the hair stops producing melanin when it gets closer to the final stages of the growth cycle and it is ready to fall out. Shedding is very normal and it's going to happen regardless whether we want it or not. There's no protein or moisture treatment that can actually prevent shedding because it is normal and it has nothing to do with the hair shaft. The amount of shedding we get can be caused by a variety of factors such as medications you take, your health, your stress, genetic factors, your diet, hormonal changes. So we know a lot of mothers complain about postpartum shedding. Shedding can also be due to heat, color, or chemical damage. Shedding can also appear to be increased by the longer time that we keep our protective styles in. So I know that if I keep my braids in for like a month or so, my hair it is shedding every day, but the shedded hair is not actually able to fall out because it's stuck in the braids. So once I take my braids out, all the hair that has been shedding over the past month will be coming out as I remove my braids. So it may appear to be more shedding once you take the braids out. And lastly, the shedded hair can be stuck in our curls. So we know we have our curls, our hair is not straight, so therefore sometimes if we're not combing it every day or like breaking our fingers through it every day, the shedded hair might just sit in the curls and it's just waiting for you to comb through it. Breakage, on the other hand, is not normal and is typically a sign of abuse or mishandling. And there are a few things that can cause breakage. Hair age is one of them. Our strands that have been in our hair the longest are more prone to breakage due to normal wear and tear. Then you have the lack of moisture. So when you're not properly moisturizing your hair gets dry and dryness leads to breakage. Another thing is protein overloads. So with too much protein, our hair can feel dry and brittle, and once again, dryness leads to breakage. Sun exposure, hair coloring, and straightening, aka using a lot of heat, can all contribute to breakage. Another thing that factors into hair breakage is your transitioning. If you are transitioning like myself to natural hair, and I actually noticed this for the first time last week when I washed my hair after taking out my protective style, that my natural hair, now that it's growing out, it's about 5 inches, by the way. I'm excited. It's 5 inches, 5 whole inches. My relaxed hair is getting caught in my natural hair, the curls, and it's causing it to get really tangled and break if I'm not very careful with it. So that is one thing that I have not been seeing a lot in the videos that I've been watching. So if you are transitioning like myself, just keep that in mind when you get protective styles, that you're gonna have to put in double the work and effort in detangling your hair because you have two different textures. So now, how do we tell the difference between hair shedding and hair breakage? Well, I know of 3 ways that we can tell. So the first way is to get a strand of hair. So I'm taking a strand of hair that has already fallen out of my head and I'm going to examine it for a white bulb at either end. And I see one at this end. I'm going to leave a picture on the side to show you guys what you should be looking for. But if you see a white bulb at the end of your hair strand, then you should be happy because this is normal shedding and this is very healthy. Like I said before, we can shed anywhere between 100 to 200 strands of hair a day. So that's perfectly normal. Now, the second way to determine if your hair is shedding or if it's breaking is if you pick up a strand of hair that is long, it's probably hair shedding, because if it's longer, it's most likely the whole strand of hair that's falling from the scalp. But if it's much shorter, that means it probably broke off along the way and it didn't come directly from the root. So that means it is breakage, and that is a problem. Now, the very last way to determine if your hair is shedding or if it's breaking is just to look at your hair. If it's usually easier to do it when your hair is straight. So imagine this is my hair, right? So if my hair is the same length going all the way across, that means my hair is probably healthy and no breakage. But if my hair is shorter on one side and longer on the other, that means my hair is breaking off. So I need to trim that to correct it so that it's all the same length. So lastly, I wanted to talk about how to prevent hair breakage. So we know that hair shedding is good for us and hair breakage is what is actually bad. So we want to prevent the breakage. And there are a few things that you can do to prevent hair breakage. And the very first one is probably a no-brainer. It's to moisturize. You have to moisturize your hair. Keep your hair moisturized. And the very best way to moisturize your hair is by using water. And you want to make sure when you moisturize that you seal the moisture in so that it doesn't easily leave the hair strand. The next thing that you want to do is handle your hair with care. Our hair is very fragile, especially our natural hair is very fragile, and we need to treat it as such. So that is very important to be careful. When you're combing your hair, don't yank it. When you're brushing your hair, detangling, don't just yank it. You know, be careful. Hold your hair to give tension while you're combing or brushing your hair to detangle. Another thing that you can do is wear protective or low manipulation styles. Box braids, passion twists, spring twists, feed-in braids, anything that keeps your hair up and out of your face, out of your way, so that you're not constantly manipulating it. And even braid outs, they're not a protective style, but they are a low manipulation style, because all you do is put a bonnet on at nighttime. You know, if you're not, messing with your hair throughout, which I'm doing right now, if you're not messing with your hair throughout the day, that is considered a low manipulation style. Another thing that you want to do is to avoid products that have alcohol in it. And alcohol is very drying to the hair, and we know once again that dryness leads to breakage. So we don't want that. So we don't want products that have alcohol. So that's why a lot of curly girls do sulfate and silicone free products. We want natural products because they are healthier and better for our hair. And the last thing that we want to do is to balance the protein and moisture that we put in our hair. So if we're putting protein in 1 week, maybe next week we can do more moisture. But we don't want to have an overload of either one of those, because having an overload of either one is not really that good for our hair. And my very last tip regarding the shedding versus breakage, you can't really compare your hair shedding or the amount of hair that you shed to another person's, even if they have the same hair type as you, because there are so many factors that go into hair shedding and hair breakage. You can't really compare to anyone else. You can only really compare to yourself. So I saved 2 different wash days worth of shedded hair, and I wanted to share that with you. So I'm comparing my hair to my own hair. I'm not going to compare my hair with anyone else's to determine if it's normal or not. So like I said earlier, I took my braids out about a week ago, and I shed a lot of hair. But that's kind of expected because I had my braids in for over a month. So this is the hair that came out while I was actually removing the braids. And this is the hair that came out in the shower. So that's a lot of hair, but remember, my hair was shedding every day, but my braids were preventing the shedded hair from falling. So it just sat in the braids. So when I took it out, I got this. So this is the amount of hair that I shed this week. And the entire week prior to my wash day, I did have maybe 10 braids just sitting in my hair all day. for the week. So that could be a determining factor of why there was a lot of hair here, because they were again stuck in my braids. So it's very interesting to see how much hair I shed depending on the different hairstyles that I do. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. We are not to compare our hair with others because everyone's hair journey is unique. So I challenge you to determine how much hair shedding is normal for you and just keep a log of it. I have a journal here that I keep a log of all of my wash days, what I used and how I styled my hair and the results, what I liked, what I didn't like, so that I can always have something to go back to on, like if I had a question, oh, my hair shedded a lot this week. Was it something that I used? Was it something how I'd style my hair? You know, things like that. So I encourage you to make a note of your hair journey and just jot down notes. How much hair did you shed this week when you washed? Is it more or less than last week? And what do you think contributed to that? So I hope you guys enjoyed my video, and if you did, don't forget to give me a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button right there to be notified when I post, and leave me a comment down below letting me know the big things that go into your hair shedding, or if your hair is breaking, what are you doing to correct it? I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.